Wish TV is proud to honor teachers in Central Indiana
She is an inspiration to all of us.
He's always smiling.
who go above and beyond,
He's done so many things for so many people.
He's inspirational.
making a difference,
He's always taught me to believe in myself and never get down on myself.
Everybody's biggest cheerleader.
and deserving of recognition for their outstanding efforts in
I
education.
love the people that I work with, and to know that I've made an impact on somebody's life, it is truly a great honor.
It's an honor. I love what I do, and the kids are the ones who make it work. I'm like just so taken aback because I love them so much. The fact that, they love me just as much just means a lot. Sorry, you're going to have to cut that part out.
And you are our winner.
Oh, thank you so much.
From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Golden Apple Awards Podcast, sponsored by WGU.
Hey everyone, Hannah Mordeau here. October's winner is Mrs. Jaymie Popcheff. She's a reading specialist in Wayne Township who works with students of all ages from several different districts at Sanders School. Her coworkers say her gift is making kids feel special. She becomes their safe space. The Golden Apple Award comes with a trophy, a school supply shopping spree, a surprise visit from our News 8 team, and new this year, a $2,000 cash prize. The surprise went really fast, so I brought Mrs. Popcheff back here on the podcast. Mrs. Jaymie Popcheff, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here. So we're doing this a little bit out of the order of things usually. You haven't actually seen your story air yet, but we have surprised you. You know that you won for October. I bet it was a bit of a whirlwind. How are you feeling now after all of that?
Wow, you are correct. It is crazy. I am so humbled, definitely surprised, still in shock, and very grateful, extremely, extremely grateful. I still don't think that it has sunk in.
Yeah. Well, it was really special hearing from the students and your fellow staff members. It really feels like they wanted to say thank you to you for all that you do. I loved when they said that you become a student's person, and even staff members too. You're their biggest cheerleader. How do you do that with all the different students you serve at Sanders, a wide variety of ages and districts? How do you reach students?
A lot of people have asked me, how do you do that? What is it? And I can't necessarily say that it's something, one specific thing that I do. Sometimes you just connect with kids or people, but I would say more than anything, it is just listening, and being there. And when someone is in need and they feel heard and comforted, that just really forms a connection with them that they can kind of hold on to and truly appreciate. So sometimes when you show up for someone, and one of their moments that they really need someone, that bond is quickly connecting for them.
You've mastered this in what, 24 years of teaching at this point?
Yes, this is my 24th year. Yes.
Did you always want to be a teacher, or how did you get into this?
I did not always want to be a teacher. In fact, I didn't really grow up knowing what I wanted to be. I grew up just being myself, and I loved being active in all sorts of things at school. In high school, I sort of took off in different directions, but being involved in lots of things, including performing arts and choirs and cheerleading and things like that. So being active was just something that I loved, and being involved in the community. But one thing I always knew I wanted to do was to serve my community, and I knew I wanted to have a family. And at first, before I graduated high school, I got my EMT license, and I had this big dream that I was going to become a paramedic and I was going to become a flight nurse, and it was going to be this really exciting life. And that was quickly shot down by motion sickness.
Oh no.
Yes. So riding in an ambulance and that kind of lifestyle, working in the back of the truck, no, didn't work out for me. And you learn by experience. And then I thought I was going to join the Peace Corps for a little bit when I was younger, but I just knew I wanted to serve, and it was kind of time to switch my major in college. And I just sort of went to the counseling office and took a test about personality, maybe what you would be good at. And it said, you should be a teacher. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. And that's what I did.
Wow. Well, it certainly worked out, but that is an unusual path. Uh,
Very.
you're a reading specialist now. What does that exactly mean? What do you do?
So we are lucky enough in our district to have reading specialists at each school. There is definitely a need to help students master certain skills and things like that, especially their early foundational phonemic and reading skills. So that is something we do all across Wayne Townships, and I know that's a big focus in other schools. So for me, being at Sanders, I get to wear many hats in that role. So I serve on our leadership team. I serve as a mentor for new teachers. I also have a sensory room and help out with our occupational therapist and speech therapist. And I get to go to instructional coach meetings. And so since our school serves a smaller population, I kind of get to help with lots of different things. But as far as the reading instruction or this instruction, excuse me, the instructional reading position, I really get to push into all of the classrooms and co-teach with all of the teachers, and we get to plan together and really focus on the students that need more remedial teaching and skill work on those foundational reading skills. So no matter the age, a lot of schools only have the resources to focus on students maybe in the primary grades of kindergarten, first, second, and possibly, third if they have the resources. But we are lucky enough at Sanders that I am able to work with all of our teachers, kindergarten through eighth, for any students that need that instructional push. And we can really do a lot of great things. So it's been really great. Yeah.
We touched on it in the story a little bit in the beginning of what Sanders School is, but can you kind of explain what Sanders School is for maybe anyone that's unfamiliar?
Wow. I would say it is something that if I could have any teacher, even in our own district, come and see for a day, I think it is one of the most wonderful, magical places on earth that people just don't know about. So we are a separate day program for students that are struggling with emotional regulation mostly. All of our students do have IEPs or individual education plans, and their home schools were unable to successfully meet their needs as far as providing them services for their academic progress, as well as the environment that they require for meeting their academic progress. Usually, their behaviors are disruptive to the environment in such a way that it can be very hard to keep them in that, what we call a homeschool, but a typical school program. So when all of the resources and things like that a typical school would have not worked, they would come to a program like Sanders, and we do things very differently. We do not have seclusion rooms. We do not use restraint. That is something that has been brought to light just recently in this past year, about how that really has been underreported and things like that. But we are really working as a staff to bring an awareness to how you can work with children and families differently to meet the needs, because behaviors are communication. They're expressing a need. What is the need? And most of the times what we are finding out is that the students are in need of some type of additional resource that revolves around mental health. And so our school is really wonderful. We have in-house mental health staff as well. And so right there in our school, we have staff, we have teachers, we have behavior support team, we have mental health staff that can be there. So if their parents choose to opt in, their students while they're at school have access to therapists. The therapists can then also talk with the medication providers if that's something the family wants to engage with. And so we can all really work together with the family and provide them a lot of intense services to hopefully get that child and the family. So it's not just the students, but the families as well, what they need to hopefully get them in a better place so that while they're at school, they're working on things that really impact their ability to learn. So if you don't have all of those things working together, school is going to be very, very hard.
That makes sense. You haven't always worked at Sanders, and you also haven't always been in this reading specialist role. You told me that you started in as a general educator. You've really obviously grown over the past 24 years. What has kept you motivated and wanting to move into this more specialized position?
I did start off in general education, and I was truly unaware about the special education world, let alone that there was a special education, just dedicated to students for those that needed resources for emotional disabilities and resources and things like that. And across the hall from me in my young teaching years, I met a very wonderful woman, and she had a self-contained emotional disability classroom. And I would stand out at the end of the hall and greet all of my students in the morning as they came in. And I would see her students coming to her classroom, and I just started to ask questions and get to know her students. And then soon we were paired as an inclusion classroom. And inclusion at that time meant that her students joined the general education students in my classroom for lunch. They joined us for recess, and they came for related arts. And the students did great. And I got to know them at recess when I was on duty. I got to know them at lunch when I was on duty. And before I knew it, they were like, why don't we go to class with you? Why don't we get to come to class with you? And I didn't have an answer because I wasn't seeing these extreme behaviors at recess. I wasn't seeing these extreme behaviors that people said that they saw out of these students. And so I was talking to their teacher, and I was like, I don't understand. Like, why don't they come to class? And she was like, well, because, these are their normal behaviors. I'm like, well, we're not seeing those. And so I said, you guys should just come. And she was like, well, that's not how it works. And so long story short, we just sort of challenged, and we went to the principal and said, hey, we'd like to try having her and her students come to class. And long story short, it really worked.
Wow.
We started team teaching science at first, and the students came, and it was so great. It was great for her students. It was great for the general education students. And nothing is without challenges and things like that. But all things aside, the students did great. Everyone did great. And when there were bumps in the road and things like that, there were just teachable moments and how to get along and how to be better humans for all of us.
It's funny you say how to be better humans because your principal literally said about you that you make everybody a better human. Staff members too, that you're constantly thinking, creating, just as you said there, kind of a new ways of problem solving, but then also just helping staff members with planned birthday parties, different things like that. Why is it important to you to support your fellow staff too and show them love?
Well, life can be heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Life can be difficult and challenging. Teachers everywhere. Goodness, we can fall into social media and all sorts of things where we can listen to how difficult things can be and all of the challenges that we face, and the algorithms of social media and things like that would be easy to fall into and feel very negative. And you can get into a headspace where it would be easy to think of all of the challenges and all of the things that make our work difficult. So I try really hard to not allow myself to be in that headspace, or the people that I'm around, or the children I'm around, and instead create opportunities for us to have joyful moments and wonderful occasions. And I really love to create opportunities where people can experience happiness and joy and just be happy, because life is hard.
Yeah.
It is. And so we often talk about at our school filling our emotional tanks. And so anytime I can help someone just make that little deposit and feel good. So when those hard times do come, and we know that they do, um, it doesn't hit as hard, and you have something in that emotional tank that can keep and carry you through.
One of your other fellow teachers said that you're kind of like the mom of the school and staff. You are a mom. Do you think that compassion, empathy comes from um, being a mom, or is it just kind of something that comes naturally to you?
Oh, wow. I definitely think that being a mom plays a big part in that. I definitely think that my parents, my family, my upbringing definitely played a big part in that. My children are older, so I think even more now that my children are older. I was kind of, as the years go by, you get more wanting to love and nurture and things like that. So my kids are going through the college and moving out and all those types of things. So of course you kind of latch on to everybody and like, oh, I just want somebody to love and take care of and things like that. But I've always really just kind of been that person that my joy comes from other people's joy. I sometimes maybe would describe myself as maybe a peacekeeper, or I don't know, just being able to create opportunities for other people that and see them experience things really does give me joy. So I don't know, maybe in another life I was meant to be a party planner, because I could probably set up a whole thing and be completely content just to sit back and watch other people enjoy themselves. But I do really like just watching people experience great things that make them happy. So
Well, you can tell you are bringing joy to Sanders School.
thank
You
you.
mentioned there are hard times, and we certainly need teachers. We've had such a teacher shortage, especially over the last few years. What words of encouragement would you give maybe someone thinking about being a teacher or starting out young as a teacher? What would you want them to know?
That it is a calling, it is a passion, that if they truly feel that that is what they are meant to do, do it. Do not listen to the negativity. You will find your tribe. You will find your people. You will find your community that you can serve in. You will find that mama teacher like me, or you will find the right administrator. You will find the right teammates where you belong, and you will shine and you will do great. And teaching is something that you're never stuck in one place. If you go to a school or community and you really truly don't feel like that's where you belong, maybe that's not where you belong. Maybe you need to try teaching a different grade, or at a different school, or with a different group of people, because it is a teaching team, it's a teaching family, and you really have to be in the right place with the right group of people that you feel match your philosophies and your beliefs. And if you are working in a place where those things don't align, it will be difficult. So if you feel called to be a teacher, follow that passion and do it, because we need teachers.
Yeah.
And that is a calling, that is a passion. And don't feel discouraged by all the negativity because you will find people. There are great teachers and there are great moments, and it is so fulfilling. And don't get on social media and start listening to those things, because you can find wonderful things out there and uplifting people that post wonderful things as well. And that can be your algorithm that you follow as well.
What do you hope people learn from your story as they see it?
There are a lot of other people like me. I feel so honored and humbled that this was given to me, but I instantly think of all the other people that I know that are out there, like a diamond in the rough, that and just everyday teachers that get up every day and think about, how am I going to engage my students today? Or teachers that stayed up the night before and did something to make the next day extra special, or they purchased something with their own money, or they baked something in their own kitchen, or anything that they did that was just special, just because they did it because they truly love what they do and they love their kids. And there are so many teachers like that everywhere, and they all just deserve huge hugs, huge loves, big thank yous. And they spend so much time with their children every day. A lot of times our teachers spend more time with kids than sometimes kids get with their own parents when they get home. And that's a huge responsibility. And we need to love our teachers up, because they do so much for our kids. And I just want to say a big thank you. I'm so just honored. And if I could say anything, thank a teacher. Just thank a teacher. It doesn't have to be a gift. It doesn't have to be monetary. It can be an email. It can be a card. It can just be simple as, thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you for all that you do. You really are an inspiration, and it has been a joy for me to get to surprise you and get to know you a little bit more. And I can't wait for you to see the story, because you deserve every bit of this.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been so wonderful to get to chat with you. You have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations to Mrs. Popcheff. She truly deserves this award. From Wish TV, I'm Hannah Mordeau. We're going to continue honoring teachers here in Central Indiana who go above and beyond to make a difference in our children's lives. If you know a teacher who deserves recognition, please nominate them for the Golden Apple Award. It is so easy to do. Just send in a detailed nomination at wishtv.com/goldenapple and listen for the next winner right here on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The Wish TV Golden Apple Awards are sponsored by WGU. Nominate a teacher and learn more at wishtv.com now. Be sure to follow and subscribe to this podcast and discover even more great podcasts now on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.